Good morning, nearly afternoon everybody. How are you today? I hope you're well. Where are we? What a change. It's like a flick has been switched overnight. We are suddenly plunged into summer. It's crazy. Beautiful, beautiful sunshine. We're due to have this for the next few days. It's glorious. Our temperatures are going to be around between sort of 20 and 23, which is crazy. And actually, I've been complaining about not having sunshine for so long, but it feels really hot because we've had weeks and weeks and weeks with the temperature hovering around, oh, that's a piece of paper in my pocket, yeah, hovering around 10 degrees, 11 degrees. So this suddenly feels hot. And it's really the wrong weather for what I need to do today. Never mind. It's beautiful. Weather like this, it just makes everyone smile, doesn't it? So, right then, well, first job of the day, apart from getting a cat hair out of my eye, close-up cuddles, hair and eyes. Yeah, first job of the day. I've mentioned this a few times before in videos, but we have working party days here once a month, although over the winter they we don't have them so much. And the idea with the work party is we all come together to look after the communal parts of the site. So mowing our grass paths, fixing fences, attending to, we've got quite a big wildlife pond, trimming overhanging branches, all those sorts of things. It's great. It's a great opportunity for people to meet each other, and it's, you know, it's a really important way of being part of the community, is that we're giving something back. So our work party's coming up in a couple of days, but we actually missed one. We normally have one at the beginning of March or sometime in March, but we didn't have it this year. So the grass is really, really, really long in places, particularly over in our sort of orchard area where there's an entrance that people don't use so much, so I think it gets a bit forgotten. So ahead of this mowing work party session, someone's just given it a bit of a trim just to bring it down a little bit, because honestly it was like a foot long. So my first job of today is I'm going to take my barrow and my rake over there, and I'm going to rake up as much of that sort of stem, that first cut, as I can, to use as a mulch anywhere, everywhere. Because, well, one of the reasons, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit intimidated by the work today. I kind of am at this time every year, because I know what it's going to be like. We had some lovely rain right back at the beginning of March. We had another rain day about, it's got to be getting on for 2.5, 3 weeks ago now, but that's been it. We've had mild days, we've had quite a lot of wind as well, and that's very drying. And the fact is, even those parts of my beds that are covered with cardboard, leaves, compost, all that stuff that I put down in the autumn, I've had a bit of a look under, and they're really, really dry. So in order to open those beds back up and get ready for them to receive either seeds or seedlings, I'm going to have to give them a good digging over. So any of the compost which hasn't been taken down during the winter by the worms, I was going to say tickle it in, but I don't think it's going to be tickling today. I think it's going to be proper forking. So I am dreading it. I'm absolutely dreading it, because I know that it's going to hurt my body. And with this heat as well, it's not ideal. But you know what? It's not going to do itself, is it? So on days like today, which I kind of, if I'd never done it before, I wouldn't be quite so intimidated by it. But because I've done it before and I know what's coming, I am really intimidated by it. So for days like today, I try to plan, oops, cheerio Poppy, I try to plan little moments of reprieve from it. So I'll work really hard, say for an hour, and then I'll stop and I'll either just come and sit in the shade of the shed, or, you know, go. I don't think there's going to be many people around today because it's a weekday, but if there's someone else around, I might just wander over to their plot, have a sit down, have a chat for 5 or 10 minutes. I just try to find little things to do, a bit of seed sowing, a bit of watering, that anything that's not quite such hard work. And also I firmly believe in rewarding oneself for one's hard work. So I'll see how I get on today, but I've given myself a little bet of, if I can do the work that I've sort of planned up here, then I'm going to treat myself to a bottle of beer. That's my incentive. Goodness knows I need it today. So if I do the things that I've promised myself I'll do, I'm going to be having a nice cold beer later on. Now, before I actually go out there and start getting all sweaty Betty, it's definitely going to be a sweaty Betty day. I'm probably going to need my hat on. By the end of the day, and when I'm saying goodbye, I'm going to look a state. So before all that happens, I just want to say a quick shout out to a very, very young gardener called Logan. Hi Logan, how are you? Logan is 7 and Logan's getting into his vegetable gardening. Yay! So I promised Logan a shout out, here it is, but also Logan's little brother Aaron. I don't know how old Aaron is, but it's Logan's little brother. Anyway, good on you both for getting stuck into your gardening. It's fantastic. And I hope you're seeing lots of things coming up in your seed trays already. And I hope you're excited for the summer when you can start picking all your gorgeous, gorgeous scrummy food and scoffing it in the garden before you even get it home. So, keep up the good work, Logan and Aaron. Right, enough chatting with you lot. Let's go and get sweaty. It's like Groundhog Day for the autumn. It doesn't seem like, it seems like yesterday that I was doing this for leaves. But what a great resource. I think most of you who are gardeners and aiming for self-sufficiency, etc., would be just like me, that you're always keeping your eye out for a material, stuff that would be useful for the garden. And whoopah, although it takes a little bit of effort, it's going to be really, really useful. Imagine if we have another summer like the last one, with that drought that went on for, I think it was 14 weeks in the end. So literally anything, any material I can get to put on the soil to retain some of the moisture, the better. And of course, you know, gradually as it breaks down, it'll go into the soil and hopefully in future make it a bit better at retaining moisture. I'm snagging up a few dandelion leaves in here as well, but that's fine. It'll all go in, it'll all help. Right, I've got a whole pathway up there to do, so I better shut up and get on with it. I'm already sweaty. It's not even noon. How gorgeous. Right, get this back to the garden. But it won't stay there. Not at this stage. The spud trenches will get filled in with their soil, but I've got nowhere to put it at the minute, so I'll pop it there. And then, once the onions start coming up, and I can see where they are, and once we've had a good soaking with rain, then I'll whisk it out of these trenches and get it in amongst my onions. This is literally just put it in the spud trenches as a holding zone. Oh, here comes a mower. Oh, I'll take it round the other end. Managed to get loads, considering it's just a few scratches. Good stuff. Might as well put some in there too. That'll do for now. And like I say, once the spuds are coming up, they will. And I've seen my first of my new potatoes has come up, but once the spuds are coming up, I'll use the earth to mound up, and then this can go as a mulch for the onions. There's no point mulching today because the ground's so dry, so I'll wait till we've had some good rain. If that doesn't look likely, I'll give them a really, really, really good soak and then pop this on. Morning, Rusty. Hello, Possum. Oh. Time for some cat cuddles, eh? Oh, you're a little boy, aren't you? Oh, yes, you are. Come on, let's go and have some cat cuddles. This is the bed I'm going to be working in today, working on. I've got these 4 of my new mini permanent beds to sort out. This is going to be the vegetable cathedral. Can you hear me over that strimmer? It's obviously a day for grass. As part of this, I need to get my bean trenches, I need to get the soil back on them, but the material in the bottom of them, it's been sort of composting away over the last sort of couple of months or so, but it's gotten really dry. So before I fill them in, I'm going to chuck an absolute load of water down on all that lovely material, give it a good soak, and then up that, try and rake this soil back over, but gosh, it's dry. We're actually dry in the top sort of 2 to 3 inches of the soil. Once you get a bit lower, there is moisture down there. So the soil I'm dragging back over now is obviously going to act as a bit of a mulch to that freshly soaked material down there. As I go, I'll just, as you just heard, I'll just hoik out any big rocks, lumps of glass, what have you. There's still some. I can't remember what this material is now. It looks like semi-decomposed squash vines. That's fine, it can all just sit there. It's all adding to the mulch, and yet more glass. Oh, I just dropped it, and a bit of plastic. Right, so that's the plan for all the bean trenches. There is quite a lot of material in each trench. Literally over the whole of the, sort of the late winter and early spring, every time I was doing any sort of tidying in the garden, I was just whacking the material into these trenches. Oh, it's a dust bath. Rock. Oh, ant nest. And then, because we've got such a hot, sunny, dry few days coming up, once I've got these beds prepped, I'm going to get them all covered in cardboard again. I've got some fresh cardboard that's not got holes in, so I'll get the whole lot covered again. And then in a few days' time, I'll be ready to start seeding. We'll get that cardboard on, just so that any of that material that I'm turning over that's got moisture in it, I can keep it in there. That's the plan. And then occasionally find a great big lump like this and try to break it down. Okay, let's get on and do. Whew, crikey, even just getting those bean trenches filled in again, it feels a little bit exhausting because it's so warm today. It's beautiful. I'm not complaining, but it is a little bit too hot for doing this harder physical stuff. So I've just had a quick little break, had a bite to eat in the shade of the shed. I've whacked some sun lotion on because there is strength in this sun today. Right, so next job, start tackling the cathedral bed. Let me just quickly show you before I uncover what I'm dealing with. So here we are, down here. Let me just find somewhere to be. So obviously they've been covered all winter with cardboard, with a combination of compost, leaves, what have you. Obviously the cardboard has disintegrated over the winter and the worms have been eating it. But all the places where I've got no cardboard now, so that brick was originally on cardboard, you can see, look how caked and dry it is. Likewise over here. So for instance, where the edge of this log is, I actually want the bed to come to here. So no matter how good the composting, leafing, cardboarding has been at the edges, it is going to take a bit of work. So can you tell I'm dreading it? I'm not scared of hard work, but oh my goodness, this is what I mean about it's just a little bit of an intimidating job today. So I'm going to try and get this one and this one done, get them dug over and then get them covered in the cardboard again before I get ready to plant in a few days. Oh, lovely breeze, gorgeous. Let's get it cleared and see what we're dealing with. I'm just going to put all this material there for now, because then, like I said, once I've worked it, I'm going to get it covered again so that whatever moisture is in there doesn't evaporate, and so that I don't get a crust baking before I come to serve. Oh, another massive ant nest. These are all the poplar, all the big branches that will become the teepees. Hang on, this is proper cack-handed. trying not to be too fooled by this weather just yet, because it's only the middle of April. There's still a good chance. Oh, don't step on the bed. Yeah, there's still a good chance that we could get a bit of a cold spell, even get some frosts still. So I will get this seeded with my salad type leaves, but the squash, they're not going to go anywhere near this until probably more at the beginning of June. All these scraps of cardboard, I'll put them in my brown compost bin, and as and when I make green compost, I'll add them all together. I think I'm going to need my wheelbarrow, aren't I? Yes, let's go and get the things we need first. I just thought I'd give you a quick closer look before I start working it. You can probably see, I don't know if you can, it might be too bright today, but there are some areas which are obviously more moist than others, and other areas which have really dried out. Obviously that's where the cardboard is disintegrated. So I'm wondering, I can't make my mind up. I think I'll make my mind up once I stick my fork in. I think some of this really dry stuff I might scrape off the top and put it in my brown compost bin. Some of it I might tickle in if it's sort of wet and decomposing. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Right, time to do the work. I think this is definitely going to be an episode of the Hopping and Popping Gardener. So, actually, that's not too bad. Do you know, I think I'm going to have to scrape this lot off. Yeah, let's have this lot off. I'll put it in the brown bin, and then over the course of the summer, just keep adding it into my brown and greens bin. But, oh, I've disturbed a worm already. Let's have a little look. Fork goes in nice and easily. Oh, look at that, that's beautiful. It's moist, it's friable. It's not going to be like that near the edges, I don't think. Let's have a look. Wow. Oh, I don't want to jinx myself and think all the beds are going to be like this, because that's never the case. But can you get a sense of that through the camera, I wonder? I'll just show you another one. It's really moist. It's moist. It's crumbly. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well, my late spring dig has never been like this before. Like I say, once I get over there near the edge, it's not going to be as easy. How is it here? Because this is where it was a bit more exposed, where the cardboard. Oh my goodness, look at that. What was in here last year? Oh, tomatoes. Yeah, I don't normally dig to a fine tilt for tomatoes, so wowzers. Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. Oh my goodness, I'm delighted. I'm trying not to be too excited though, just in case this is a fluke. But I've got to say, as an experiment with the cardboard, with compost, with leaves, I'm utterly, utterly delighted with this. I've never had soil this workable with the first forking in spring. Can you see it, I wonder? Let me show you. Oh, beautiful. Don't drop any. Right. That's just the beginning of the bed. Let's crack on. looks like the ants like the cardboard treatment too. There's another ant nest. And yes, I've already had my first ant bite of the year. Hurrah! Not. So, because it is so beautiful under here, this is what I was saying earlier about literally the minute this bed is done, I'm going to whack a cardboard over the top of it again, stop it from drying out until I'm ready for seeding and for putting all my structures up, which hopefully I'll get the structures up next week. Ooh, mighty warm. Oh, that was slightly more claggy little lump there. How utterly, utterly lovely to see the sunshine again. I am now highly motivated to get these 2 beds done so that I can sit outside my shed with that cold beer. Woo! Come on, Gregory, work. Crikey. Oh my goodness. I can feel myself getting a bit too hot. And although this has been considerably easier than in previous years, it's still a bit of work in the heat. So quick sticks, because this sun is really strong and I don't want it all to dry out again. That's a bit of chicken manure. I'll just give it a very light rake in. This isn't the sort of the final product for the bed. It was just because I don't want to prepare it on the day I want to sow it, because if it had been an absolute hideous devil to do, I wouldn't have got around to sowing. So I'm going to repeat with all my unprepared beds. I'm going to repeat the same process over the coming few days, coming couple of weeks or so that just as I go into the beginning of May, I can take the covers off, hit the ground running and get sowing. And in fact, I told you it was an episode of the Huffington and Puffington. This soil is actually, it's so friable. I think even with small seeds like the salady type seeds, I think I'm going to be able to sow straight into it. If you remember last year, it was baked so hard by the time I came to sow the salads. I ended up having to buy compost to get a little thin layer of compost on top of each bed. But, like I say, fingers crossed that this is actually fine enough to go straight in with some seeds, which I've got to say is, for me, it feels nothing short of miraculous. I'm delighted. Oh. So I'll get this one done, have a little shade break in the shed, drink a gallon of water, and then start the next one. Ooh, doesn't it look posh with its fancy brand new cardboard? Oh dear. I look like a blooming strawberry. You see, didn't I say first thing this morning that I was going to end the day a proper little sweaty Betty? And my goodness, I'm dripping. My hair is plastered to my head because it's full of sweat. I'm filthy, but I love it. I love being so sweaty, dusty, filthy. It's great. I am going to be sensible though, for it's late afternoon now. I think it's about like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm going to call it a day now. Got a couple of little bits of watering to do. Oh my goodness. Because this heat has come quite quickly, it always takes me a while to acclimatise. I love heat. I love heat and sunshine. I'm a summer girl. I absolutely adore it. But after weeks and weeks and weeks of wearing fleeces, sweatshirts, loads and loads of layers, and being accustomed to that sort of 10 degrees or so, which is actually perfect for working in, I think it's just been that's, I was going to say it's been a bit too much, so it's not too much, it's fine, I'm always sensible, but I think when we, if any of you who are like me, if we get the sudden bit of heat, take it easy, go slowly, have lots of rest in the shade, don't forget your water, and fortunately we have a fresh water tap on my site too, so I've been able to refill it about 5 times already. So, good stuff, great. That's kind of, it's not broken the back of the job, because I've got more still to do than I have done, but it's given me so much hope, having seen how that soil is in the first couple of beds. That now what will be interesting, sorry, I'll just say very quickly, the next couple of beds just had leaf litter rather than composty materials, or barely composted materials, so I don't know if that will have made a difference. If it has, I will report back to you. But like I was saying, I think just getting stuck in and doing those today, even though, like I said, I was really daunted by it, especially because I knew it was going to be a hot day today. I thought it would break my spirit a little bit, because sometimes the spring dig does. But you know what, it's been okay, and now that I've got a couple out of the way, I feel girded to plough on and get the rest of them done. Just a couple at a time, just a couple each day. And I think that's a lesson for us all, isn't it? Is that I think especially if you've got a new plot, or maybe you've been away from your plot for ages and you feel like it's got a bit overgrown and out of control again, it's all too easy to visit your plot, your garden, whatever it is, and think, oh, there's so much to do, there's too much to do, and you just sort of freeze and can't do anything. And then you walk away and you sort of think about it and worry about it for another week, and then you go to it the next weekend, and it's all so much. I mean, I know how that feels. That's how I was feeling at the start of today. But the best thing to do is just do something. So if you are feeling a bit intimidated by your garden at the moment, pick 1 square metre. Just do 1 square metre of your garden today. And then the next time you're in the garden, that's 1 square metre of garden less to worry about and less to do, and you can move on to the next square metre. You might have to do more than 1 square metre per week, but you get the idea. So, it's amazing, isn't it, how I do feel a bit drained because of the beautiful, gorgeous sunshine. But having done that now, I feel so energised, so much more energy than I had this morning. It's crazy, isn't it? Work hard and it feeds you. It actually feeds you with a bit of energy. So I think it's time for little Miss Betty of the Sweaty to get myself home, have a nice rosemary bath. Ooh, that'll ease any aches that I might have developed. I'll do some stretches too, and then it'll be time for that cold beer. You see, it's worth giving yourself a promise, isn't it? So, for now, from Little Miss Pumpkin, Raspberry, Strawberry, whatever face, I'm going to say cheerio to you all. I hope wherever you're at with your gardens, that just by doing a little bit, it gives you the energy to do a whole lot more. Whatever you're up to out there, have fun doing it. Put the sunscreen on. For a day like today, drink lots of water, just get out there and do something. I'll see you all again really soon, I hope. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves.